Psychiatry for a Mad World. An extract from the book. Bruno eventually made a recovery and now makes personal appearances and is often a guest on television shows. His case illustrates how mental illness can affect anyone, even a high-flying prize fighter, and the way the Sun persecuted him for his illness shows how ordinary people who deem themselves to be healthy can create stigma and add further stress to someone who is already extremely stressed. Who was ill, I would like to know? Bruno or the people who published the headline? I would argue that the Sun's treatment of Bruno was cruel. Again, there's no them and us. The Sun did make a climb down, but by then some of the damage was done. But why publish that article? Why are some people persecuted, even people down on their luck like Bruno was? We will be looking deeper into the mechanisms of persecution throughout this book. Causes of depression are not always clear, but it is recognised that stress can be an important factor. It is clear that much of the stress in our lives is caused by cruelty and selfishness in others. My own depressions were certainly caused by people who were unkind towards me, generating stress and a loss of hope. I doubt that I am unusual in this, so how many more millions of people are made depressed by this cruelty and selfishness thing that I keep referring to? It must be a good many. Stigma may have a real detrimental effect on someone suffering with a mental illness. It may lead to a lack of funding for services and public education. Sufferers may find it difficult to get a job or a mortgage or even holiday insurance. A person with a mental illness may feel shame and be discouraged from seeking treatment or even from admitting that their symptoms may be due to a mental illness. Stigma does hold many people back. But another aspect of stigma is the notion that people with mental illness are somehow failures in life. We can see how wrong this is if we look at the lives of a few high achievers. People who have experienced mental illness are in good company. Take a look at these famous individuals who have experienced a variety of mental disorders. Paula Abdul, singer, bulimia. John Quincy Adams, former US President, clinical depression. Carolina Hearn, actress, depression, alcoholism, suicide attempt, agoraphobia. Quote, "I try to piece together what I did and why I did it, but it's just a big blackout." End quote. Alvin Ailey, American dancer and choreographer, bipolar affective disorder. Buzz Aldrin, astronaut, second man to walk on the moon, clinical depression. Sophie Anderton, model, depression. Adam Ant, musician, bipolar affective disorder. Diane Arbus, American photographer, clinical depression. Roseanne Barr, comedian, actress, multiple personality disorder. Syd Barrett, musician, member of Pink Floyd, schizophrenia. Drew Barrymore, actress, director, clinical depression. Kim Basinger, actress, panic disorder. Justine Bateman, actress, bulimia. Ned Beatty, actor, bipolar affective disorder. Ludwig van Beethoven, German composer, bipolar affective disorder. Irving Berlin, musician and composer, clinical depression. Leonard Bernstein, American conductor and composer, clinical depression. David Blunkett, British MP, depression. Marlon Brando, actor, depression. Charles Buddy Bolden, father of American jazz, schizophrenia. Robert Borstin, special assistant to former US President Bill Clinton, bipolar affective disorder. Clara Bow, American silent film actress in the 1920s, clinical depression. James Dean Bradfield, musician with the Manic Street Preachers, depression. Quote, "I became a completely dysfunctional, miserable person, completely uncommunicative and aggressive." End quote. Lord Melvin Bragg, broadcaster, author and president of the mental health charity Mind, depression. Quote, "Occasionally now I feel a wang that goes in my head. Once you've got it, you've got it. The illness was quite severe, leaving me deeply unhappy and frightened." End quote. Charlotte Bronte, novelist, anxiety disorder. Frank Bruno, British heavyweight boxing champion, depression, bipolar affective disorder, quote, "It's like a kettle. If it's a kettle, you turn the kettle off. I wish I could put a hole in my head and let the steam come out. The steam was getting so high and the pressure was getting just a little bit much for me." End quote. Keisha Buchanan, singer with the Sugar Babes, depression, quote, "With depression you can go in and out of it and not really know whether it's still there or not. Sometimes I'd find myself bursting into tears for no reason." End quote. Art Buchfeld, American humorist and writer, bipolar affective disorder. Mel C, former Spice Girl, depression, quote, "There is always a fear the depression could return, but I do all the right things. I try to get the right amount of sleep because I know that I need sleep to function, and I need to eat properly and to do some exercising." End quote. Drew Carey, comedian, actor, clinical depression. Jim Carey, actor, depression, quote, "I was on Prozac for a long time. It may have helped me out of a jam for a little bit, but people stay on it forever." End quote. Karen Carpenter, singer with the Carpenters, anorexia. Dick Cavett, television talk show host, clinical depression. Ray Charles, musician, singer, clinical depression. Lawton Chiles, former Florida governor, clinical depression. Sir Winston Churchill, former British Prime Minister, bipolar affective disorder. Eric Clapton, musician, singer, clinical depression. Dick Clark, television host, clinical depression. Rosemary Clooney, singer, bipolar affective disorder. Kurt Cobain, musician with Nirvana, clinical depression, suicided. Leonard Cohen, Canadian poet and musician, clinical depression. Natalie Cole, singer, clinical depression. Judy Collins, singer and songwriter, depression. Sean Colvin, twice Grammy Award-winning musician, depression.